Today I want to show you how to make this simple 120 litre wormy wash bin. Bin with lid, very important that we have a sealed system. You also need a few basic tools. So what we need in way of tools to make this system is we need a pen and ruler to mark out our tap and our filter. We need 2 filters and a drill to make the hole for it. We need a drill to put the tap in along with washers to seal it, and we need our wrenches to tighten that tap. So we're going to mark this filter in at about 5 centimetres above the base. This particular drum has about a centimetre rim on it, so we're going to mark our point to drill. And that's right here. Okay, so we put the tap in with its washer. We want the filter as high as possible, maximum space for the worms, enough air for the whole system. We drill a hole near the top. So this hole is exactly the right size for this filter. We just snap it in, and that's that. The one on the back as well, same thing, and that's it. Okay, so that's all there is to it, to constructing this home for our worms. Filter, tap and bin with lid. So now we've got to choose where to put it. It's really important that our system is in the shade, and it's also important that it's on a pedestal so that we can get the bucket underneath to extract the wormy wash. So we've got to make a filter for our system. First of all, we're going to take some gravel. We're going to put that in. We want this filter to be about 5 centimetres above the level of the tap to be sure that we've got a good filter. Enough gravel to well and truly cover the tap. Then we'll put a bit of sand on it. Another couple of centimetres, and that's that. That's your filter. So now we'll put some leaves and some twigs just to make a nice comfortable medium between the soil and the filter. That's all there is to it. So now we're going to wash our filter through a bit, put a bit of water in until it comes out the tap. So once the filter's flushed through, we add the soil. Add good soil, good humus rich soil, nice home for the worms to start off with. Next, we add some cow manure, a few lumps of cow manure. Horse manure is also okay, but cow manure seems to be the best. They love it. So now we want to put a couple of 100 worms into this, more or less. A couple of 100 worms. That's a pretty good looking. And now we're going to cover all this up with leaves or with straw, and we're going to leave it for 10 days or a couple of weeks just for them to settle into their new home. Okay, so that's the system. This is going to produce thousands and thousands of worms, as well as all the wonderful compost it's going to do. Each year we'll probably have to empty it a couple of times, and each time we'll be able to harvest an enormous amount of actual compost, plus all the liquid we've been able to take out while the process has been in action. So just one last word of this. Remember that all the material that you take out of this worm bin is likely to contain not only worms but hundreds, thousands of eggs, and so you've got to treat it with care. And when you put it into your garden, make sure you put it underneath the mulch of your garden or into the soil itself, because they don't like sun, they like the shade, and need to be treated with care and respect. Okay, that's the system. Now we're going to actually transfer it to their little worm temple, where we've got a high productivity system running, producing hundreds of thousands of worms, and that's good news, isn't it? So we've got the bin in its place, along with a vast array of other worm homes, palaces, and this is in my mate Charlie's worm temple, that each year is going to be producing hundreds of thousands of worms and many, many litres of wormy wash, as well as the worm compost itself. Pretty simple stuff, huh? Available to everybody. Costs almost nothing, and gives a huge amount of reward for years.